YouTube, and welcome to another Doctor Who Funko Pop review. It's been a while since we've done one of these actually, but today I'm going to be taking a look at one of the variants that have been released recently, and it is the Materialising Tardis. Now this was exclusively to the Doctor Who Festival, and then it probably turns out that they didn't sell as many as expected, and now it started to leak its way into Forbidden Planet stores around the UK, so I picked this up from my local store, and it's actually quite a nice product. I didn't actually get the original version, so this is a more interesting version, I guess, of the original, which is something exactly what I was wanting to see, because I generally find the original a little bit too boring to buy, really. So the box itself is actually rather nice. It's basically the Funko Pop box, but scaled up and made out of corrugated cardboard to fit the bigger product inside. So at the bottom you have the little cartoon of the TARDIS, but this time it's materialising, so it's faded out at the bottom, so that's really nice there. And at the bottom of this you have Materialising Tardis with a vinyl figure in several different languages, and 14+, which has for some reason been covered up. The product is displayed nicely in the box as the window stretches around to the side as well. And then we also have the Underground Toys exclusive sticker. At the top you have the Funko Pop logo, the Doctor Who logo, and the number of this product. Sides of the box pretty much the same standard stuff as usual, with the Funko Pop logo, then the TARDIS once again, and the number and things. The other side of the box accommodates the window that we previously took a look at, with the Funko Pop logo, the title of the set, and then the cartoon at the bottom once again. And the back of the box is pretty much standard to the standard wave of figures that have been released so far. The previous standard wave that was actually released about a year ago now, and then at the bottom here we have some company information on the bottom and base. Here is the dematerializing TARDIS. Now for those people who actually got the initial version, there isn't really that much difference here, because it is essentially exactly the same sculpt as to the other one, except it's got the faded base. Now as I previously said, I generally found the other one a little bit too boring. I mean, I actually scaled back a little bit on the Funko Pops and only sort of got the ones that I was actually interested in, not getting every other little variant and things, because quite frankly they do get a bit boring after a while getting the same figure just with a slight tweak. But this one got my attention because it's one of those things that hasn't really been done before. However, it's one of those nice visually appealing things that generally looks really nice on display and therefore intrigued me to the product. Essentially, this is a very simplified TARDIS as seen on the original version. It is very simplified and just has sort of the basic design of what the TARDIS would look like. It is very stumpy. Some people don't like this design, other people do, but it does scale really nicely with the other Funko Pop figures. At the front of the box you have the most amount of detailing, so you have the windows and things here. Now this has been sculpted really nicely actually, and the paint has been applied rather well, so as you can see here at the window at the top you have this really nice glossy effect. Now this has been done really well because the white underneath has actually been set back into the sculpt. This is actually a 3D piece, and sort of you have this blue rimming around the outside which actually sticks out the sculpt as well. You can see they're giving it a slight tilt in the light. We do actually have this reflection of the white, which is really nice. So we have the pull to open sticker. Now once again, much like last time, this has actually been printed onto the design. It's not just a sticker, so that means it can't actually rub off, which is great. I'm guessing this has been printed really well. We have all the different information and things on there, the standard to usual. Fortunately, the same thing applies as last time, as it doesn't really fit the box that well. It's just sort of been stuck on there, and it is a little bit diagonal at the side, so I don't really understand what they've done there. But what is really nice is they've actually applied the hinges out, which is great, and we also have the handle that's been painted really well. The same applies to the middle of the door. As you can see, we have the divider in the middle there, as well as the handle, and we do also have the addition of the little year lock, which has been painted with a little bit of gold paint, which is nice. Then at the other side we have the St. John's Ambulance sticker. Now this has once again been printed onto the design, meaning that it isn't actually a sticker, so it can't be rubbed off that easily, which is great. I would have thought that they would have gone down the simplistic route and just added a sticker, but it's nice to actually see that they've stuck it on, which is great, so that is nice. Moving on to the other sides of the box now, it is pretty much exactly the same thing. So we do have the windows there, which have been printed really well, and then we do have the three other panels below. Now the panels have actually been set back into the design, which is nice. It's very 3D, so therefore there is a lot of different depth and things in this, which is nice. So as you can see, you have all different ridging on each individual side. Moving on to the bottom of the base now this is essentially the only thing that has changed from the original. Now I'm guessing that this was all at one point a clear design, and they've gone and painted the blue over the top. But as you can see at the bottom here we have the clear piece. Now this has been done really well actually, so we have the blue, which has been really nicely faded out. It's not just a block colour, which is great, but I really do like where the choice of sort of having a speckled paint towards the bottom there, which has been really well applied to the product. As you can see, it sort of fades out towards the bottom. And what I also do really like is if we just tilt it up on the angle here, we do actually have a rather big collection of blue down here in one of the ridges, which is nice, which is once again adding a bit of definition to that of these little sort of rectangular pieces here. It gives them more detail. So as you can see, this has been really well done. It is essentially once again exactly the same design, nothing actually different, but we do have the clear piece. Now this is actually quite clear, as you can see them all the way through. It's sort of a bit frosted though, so that's nice. It isn't actually a direct directly clear. And then taking a look at the bottom, once again, the base is just clear, but as with last time, it is in fact actually a whole hollow piece. Now, this is probably due to cost reasons as well as the feature, which I will come on to in a few minutes. But yeah, that is just one hollow piece which goes directly in. But it does also give you a bit of a better look at the way that they've actually painted on the blue design and sort of added the fade of the clear bit as well. So yeah, still nice that they've added that feature, even though it is a little bit irrelevant because it's dematerializing. Moving up to the roof of the figure now, once again, it is essentially exactly the same to the original, but I didn't get that one, so I'm actually rather surprised to how well this has been printed. Now, on some products, it's actually printed rather badly, and the text has been really stretched, but on this version, it's actually been printed really well. As you can see, all the letters have been nicely added, very evenly as well, which is great. It's really nice 3D raised black bit, which actually holds all the letters, which is great. But as you can see, it just repeats all the way on all four sides there. We do have all the different lettering on. I do really like the way that this is actually a separate piece that has been added over the top, which is moving on to the roof. Much like last time, this has been simplified down quite a lot, essentially to the point where it's literally only one stack on top, as opposed to the double or several stacks even. So as you can see, we have these sort of ridged corners on each individual side there. Then at the very top, we do have this gradual raised piece, as you can see here, leading to the lamp at the top there. At the top has once again been surprisingly nicely done, as this is actually a clear sculpt. This is once again clear, so as you can see, this is sort of on a raised piece above the roof, which is nice, but we do have sort of the lantern at the top there. I do like the addition of the fact that this is clear, so once again adding a bit of detail in there, and once again at each individual side we sort of have these little blue divider pillar things, which is great. I do like the way that they've made it clear, as once again it looks rather nice, and once again a little bit accurate to what is seen in the show. Moving on to the TARDIS's features now. That's it. So much like last time, the door does in fact open. Now, this doesn't really make sense considering it's materializing or dematerializing or whatever, but as you can see, this has been done rather well, actually. Really nicely done. It is on a hinge there. You can sort of see the hinge, and as well on the clear bit, the hinge is sort of quite exposed, but I don't really mind. But yeah, this is just one piece that opens and closes. This one doesn't in fact open or anything, which you can then display a Funko Pop inside, so that's quite nice. Using the hole in the bottom of the TARDIS, you can in fact put a little Funko Pop inside. Now, it doesn't really work because the heads are in fact that big, and they don't in fact fit through the door or anything, so it's just sort of a nice little feature that you can in fact have one in there. So once again, it's actually clear at the bottom. It doesn't really make sense, but it's still nice that they've retained the feature from the initial version. And then to close the TARDIS door, all you need to do is go through the bottom and then click it into place as so. It will do a little bit of a click, but what is really nice is it is actually very secure. So as you can see, it doesn't in fact come open as easily. You can shake it and everything and it doesn't come open, so that's great. Very nicely secure, and it is a very actually quite a strong product as well. Finally, doing comparison now, as you can see, the TARDIS fits in really well with the other Funko Pops available, and will look really nice with the future wave coming out very soon also. So overall for this product, it's nothing really new, I guess. I just liked it because it was sort of different compared to the other things that we've had, like the character options line of figures, and genuinely quite interested in different things like the dematerializing TARDIS, as it looks visually interesting. Even though it may not look like it in the show, that is directly about what the Funko Pop line is about. It's over-exaggerating, making things look different, and that is exactly what this thing does. It's quite visually interesting. It is different compared to the several other billion TARDISes that have been released, and that's sort of why I like it. But for the casual collectors, I don't really know. You may want to miss out on this. It is in fact a little bit more expensive than the initial version as well. I do believe the standard version was about £12. This was £17.99 in my local Forbidden Planet store, but I don't know if that was actually my local Forbidden Planet just adding on a bit of money there. But yeah, as this was exclusive to the Doctor Who Festival, I'm guessing these may be a little bit rarer than the standard version to some extent. But yeah, genuinely, it is a nice product. If you got the other Funko Pop line, it might be nice to get this one as well, you know, to go over the collection with the different variants and things, but maybe give it a miss. I don't know. It's generally down to what you think of the product and if you would like a dematerializing TARDIS, really. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a big like. Please subscribe if you're not already. If any questions, please do leave them below, and I'll be sure to answer them at some point in the near future. Thanks again for watching, and I shall see you all next time. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.